But from what I've seen and what I've heard from my brother and my friends, you know, it's not an easy time. And so to have a couple weeks off or a couple months off, I think is crucial, And let's be honest. I mean, you watch movies, you see all the stuff where the baby walks up and goes "dada," or whatever, "mama," right? Uh, what are you doing with your phone?
I'm trying to get the.
You're gonna do it on the phone. All right, cool.
Yeah.
The father and the mother go through quite a bit, especially those first couple weeks or months. It's like, how do we organize this whole schedule? And it's always changing from what I understand. And so, yeah, paternity leave, in my opinion, is critical. It's critical.
I'm like wondering if they just like took it off. Okay, here we go.
The
Can you see it now?
Not anybody, but
I can see
some
it,
folks don't appreciate it.
Right.
Like, I
and
want
then
some
they're
more.
going to expect that time off. And why do I work so? In Europe, they get months off.
They get months off. Oh, my God. Yeah. Well, I think about it. I mean, maternity leave now is basically, we do 3 months. Right? And I had a question about paternity leave. And not that long ago, but I was like, paternity leave. And it took me a second to realize you're talking about, okay, take time off as the father.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
That's, to me, is wild. It's very wild.
I know a guy who works for a company. They get a lot of time off paternity leave, and they're also required to give that person a raise if other people within his group get a raise as well. So if you get, and I'm talking a long time. I don't want to say the number because I'm not sure, but it's more than 6 months.
Holy shit.
Yes. So what happens? So you get all this time off. Now, what if you take all this time off and you knock your wife up again? Well, then
Which may well happen.
During
the course of 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're fortunate.
I think it's more than 6 months. I think it's something like 18 months.
I'll tell you the honest truth is.
Paid.
I don't see how. I mean, my reaction was paternity leave. I mean, unless you're a dude with like fucking milk producing breasts, that baby doesn't want anything to do with you, right? You got no purpose in life being at home. You're probably just going to irritate your wife.
We're supposed to be there helping. You're supposed to help.
How many husbands are going to be like, honey, here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to vacuum the house. I'm going to fold the laundry. I'm going to make dinner.
Well, my favorite was when Pete Buttigieg took paternity leave.
Oh, yeah.
Him and his husband took paternity leave. Like, okay.
Didn't one of them have fake breasts?
Yeah, look at this. I'm doing 18-month maternity leave, and this is why it's awesome. So grateful that Canada now offers 18-month maternity leave option. Would you take a longer mat to leave if you could make it work? So this is the thing. Like you're now you have a baby, and the company is just paying for you to live. Which I mean, maternity is different.
Wow.
What I was talking about is paternity.
Yeah, that's actually
paternity,
what I thought I clicked on. There's one that says they have a 12 to 18 month paternal leave. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Parental. Okay, so now now they're referring to it as like parental leave. Yeah.
But paternity is the father.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll probably end up doing like, okay, you can take a couple of weeks or whatever. I mean, again, I'm not buying the idea that you're going to be at home, running the household while your wife, relaxes and recovers and enjoys the baby. Maybe I'm wrong about
a couple
this.
weeks or even a month, whatever it is, whatever reasonable number sounds right. But when you get to like 18 months paternity leave, if that is really happening, that seems fucking insane. And it also seems like if someone was like the type of person that likes to game a system, like you just keep knocking up your wife and you just keep getting free money. Because in a year and a half, like that's Irish twins, right?
Yeah.
In a year and a half, she's 6 months pregnant with the next one.
Yeah, I get what Rogan's saying. I wouldn't say that I agree with him, but yeah, if you just keep popping out babies, then you're gonna have 6 months paternity leave over and over and over and over again. So, yeah, I don't think it's so much about the cleaning and the, I don't know, like the household chores. I think for me, it's more about spending time with the kid. It's like you're going to miss out on huge things, especially your first time. You're going to miss out on huge things that you're never going to be able to have back. And so I honestly, like, if you think about it, maternity leave, the word itself, is kind of a sexist thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying like not to give maternity to a woman, of course, but what I'm saying is, like, why does a certain segment of people need more time than the man? Because the man also wants to experience those things with the kid. So it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting conundrum, because if you're going to give it to a woman, you should give it to a man, technically, if you're going to play fair, right? But, you know, I mean, I come from a family where my mom raised me. My dad was traveling to Europe and Africa and working and, bringing home money. That's just the family I grew up in. And not every family is the same, of course. But so my mom would definitely need maternity leave, right? My father, truthfully, he didn't necessarily need it. Would he want it? Yeah. I think to be around your child when it's born, I think that's huge. This time you're never going to get back with your kid. And so I think, yes, I agree. Paternity leave should be a thing. I would wonder, like, I'm just being, like, totally honest here. I wonder what feminists think about paternity leave. Like, I would love to have a feminist on the show and say, like, here's what I think about paternity leave, right? Like, do men need it? Do we not? So I myself, if I have a kid, I don't have children yet, but if I did have a kid, I'd want to be there for a couple months, maybe not 6 months. That's a long time. Maybe the woman gets 6 months, the man gets 3 months, or whatever it is. But yeah, I would absolutely want to be there for all those memories. You know what I mean?
Well, the way that I look at it is that, I think, well, okay, so going back, part of the reason why I think people on the subreddit are going after him for this is because, and not only this, but other stuff too, is because, like I said, he has kind of, like, insulted, like, cubicle type jobs. Like, man, those jobs just suck so bad. They're so pathetic. But then he kind of, like, will also go after people for being lazy. And in this situation, he's going after men for taking paternity leaves. And it's like you just said, and I think you agree that it's like, yeah, man, maybe not 6 months or whatever, maybe not a year or whatever, but it's like a man should have time to spend with his kid. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's kind of like an old school outlook to be against that. But moving on,
Micah, that's exactly why I said, like, I want to hear a feminist's perspective on paternity leave. You know what I mean? And maybe that's somebody we should have on the show, because I want to hear why it's not okay for guys to be home with their kids.
Yeah.
So
thanks for, luckily you kept talking as I tried to figure out how to get that damn video up. But anyway, so here's a picture of like, they make fun of him for being short a lot. They're just kind of like giving him shit on here, And here he is, like, with his fanny pack, his glove. He's, like, literally, like, lying on the table with his little cap. And, like, in the comments, it's like, if I walked into a bar and saw Joe Rogan in a flat cap and skinny jeans, lying spread eagle face down on a pool table, and then somebody's like, go on, you know what time it is. He turns his fanny pack around very, very clumsily, tripping sensually over his skinny jeans. Now Joe is naked except for his glove and rascal hat, and you know what he's down to. He's down to just knows what time it is. I don't know, but it's funny going through his subreddit because people just give him shit or whatever.
You know what? I'll put it this way: if someone's giving you shit, you're doing something right.
No, for sure. I mean, he's the bottom line. Yeah, he's massive, and but